Right, okay, so this is kind of where I'm at with the warehouse at the moment. All the sides are done, and I'll show you a mock-up in a minute. What I've been doing is building the platforms. The T-piece at the end will form the end of the platforms, and where they'll be able to sort of access all the platforms from, and into the loading dock as well when we eventually get to that point. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. Right, okay, so moving on slightly, done a fair bit of work on the warehouse. Now these are the goods platforms that will go inside the warehouse. Excuse me. And I've done it a slightly different way this time. I was going down my route of using my 2000 grit sandpaper for the platform covering, but I just thought I'll have an experiment. And anyway, as you can see, if I just swing round here, I went out and got myself some, well, a fairly hefty amount of black and white paint. Only acrylic, as you can see, £2 each from the, what do they call it? The Works, that's what it is. And what I've done is I've just come up with this sort of grey, and it's only one coat, but I quite like it, and so I've stuck with it. It's not dissimilar to what the sandpaper looks like once I've weathered it, and I haven't weathered this at all, so I'm going to stick with this, and I think it's going to be my tried and trusted method for platforms and roadways for the future. It's a lot easier than cutting out all of that and sticking it down and getting it to stick properly. So anyway, the smaller piece is the piece that joins all the platforms together. I've done my usual watercolour white for the platform edging, which I think gives a reasonable effect. I've also put the steps into the platforms. That was a pain in the backside, especially putting the brickwork, believe it or not, down the side of the steps. That took absolutely ages to get it right. Anyway, we're there now, and yeah, quite pleased with how they turn out. I mean, to be fair, they're not going to really be on view because they'll be inside the actual building. So they're the sides of the building, you've seen that all before. And what I've been doing is working my way round to the actual first floor. This will be what you will see from inside, and I've painted it the old sort of concrete colour from Woodland Scenics. Again, I think it looks quite good. On the camera it doesn't look quite as good as it does to the eye. But those will act as concrete beams, I think, and again, you know, you won't really see that much detail, but if I do have to have a shot inside, you'll see concrete beams, and I'll make some sort of struts coming down from the middle beam onto the platform, and we'll sort of dress them up nicely, but that's to be done. And now I'm going to do a bit of a Tony Northeastern trick, and although you won't really be able to see inside the warehouse, I'm just going to put a few little odds and ends in there, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to paint this up like a wooden colour and make it look like a wood floor. But I'm going to get my ruler in a minute, and like I say, we're going to do a Tony Northeastern, and we're going to draw in the planks. Might take some time, but I'll get the music on and we'll get that done. Right, I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so sometime later, all I've done is just drawn a load of pencil lines on there. I'm just going to put some other little lines on just to make them look like planks. It didn't take that long, it took me about 10 minutes to do that. But what I'll do now is I'll just come back after I've painted it and so on. Right, okay, well that didn't come out as I thought with the floorboard markings, but unless you look very, very closely, but I'm quite happy with that. It's going to go inside the building. You won't be able to see it, so you know, it may even be a bit of an unnecessary job painting it, but I think you get a slight glimpse of it through the windows. So that's where I'm at with that, and I've got to have a sit down now and think about where I'm going next with the building, whether it's time to start constructing, or are there any other bits and pieces to do. Anyway, leave that with me, and when we come back we'll find out. Right, okay, so it's all setting up now. All these three sites are anyway. It seems to be going together okay. I can't get any clamps on it, which is a bit annoying. I've been trying to, and they've been flipping off. So anyway, I'm going to leave that for a while, and then I'll come back to it, and then we'll get the floor in. The floor might need some fettling. I've already done a little bit where I was taking off some of the ends of the beams, but I expected that anyway. So it's sort of kind of going to plan at the moment. The corners of the building, I think I'm either going to have to just put a dab of brick paint in there, or I'll fit some of those, I think they're called coins, but we'll wait and see, because I don't think on the original building that they had coins. So anyway, we'll see. So I'll leave that for an hour or so to set up properly, and then we'll come back to that. Right, okay, so we've moved on a bit, and the building as such is together, and which includes the platforms that I've built for the depot itself. This side will be, I'm hoping, just a through platform, because the track will follow on in my plan anyway, past here, and it will go round to some more warehouses and other bits and pieces around there. Now, I'm really quite pleased with how that's gone together, because being my first scratch build, I was a little concerned that my measuring wasn't, let's say, up to what it should be, but it has been. I've had to fettle a little. I don't know whether I can get right underneath there. Just the size of my iPad just won't let me get any lower as such, but let's see if I can lift it up a bit so that you can see inside. So I don't know whether you can see that. It just gives a little bit of detail to the ceiling, as I said before, these beams, and you know, I will weather them up, but you won't be able to see them, and I will fit some lights in there at some stage, and there's the sort of yard office, as it will be attached in the end. If I take you back to one of the original pictures, this piece here, this side, I'm now going to build, let's put that there, down here, and that will be where the lorries come in to load up and unload as necessary. So that's the next stage of building. Got to work that out yet, but it shouldn't be too difficult, apart from the roof lanterns. Now I count on there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we won't be doing 12. I shall do a representation of that, and I'll probably do about 4, and we'll take that. We'll take that as done then. But yeah, so that will be the next stage. Hopefully that looks really okay. I'm quite pleased with it actually. I'm quite looking forward to getting it on the layout and running some track in there. The only other thing that I've got to do is add the end piece of platform in there, and I think I need a little bit of fettling with that as well. Just take a bit off the ends, just to make it fit snugly. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. Like I say, the floor's in. I've sort of painted it this brown colour. I did put some lines in there to see if I could get the it sort of represented as floorboards, but that never really quite come off. So, but I'm quite happy with that, but it could, because you can't really see through the windows, and you'll just get the impression of a brown floor, which you'll probably think, oh yeah, that's a wooden floor. So there we go. Right, okay, so we're back at the layout, and today we've got the Western, which is snaking down the left hand side as we speak, and in the background we've got the Class 33. The Class 33 is forming the Budleigh Regis to London Waterloo service, and the Western Legionnaire is forming the Penzance to London Paddington service, and obviously they all pass through Exehaven Harbour station. Now this is requested by Chris, and a few others have requested it in the past, and it's not always something that I think of when I'm filming, is to do the overall shot of the whole layout. So on my right here is Budleigh Regis, a little branch which sort of kind of, you know, sort of like a bit like Sidmouth, the Sidmouth branch many years ago. Two bridges there in the distance, that's where Exehaven town station is. On the left hand sort of tracks, that's where Exehaven Harbour station will eventually be, and just here will be where Exham Bay will be one day. But for now, I'll let you enjoy the trains, although it looks way in the distance, but you'll get an overall view of how the trains run around the track. Class 33 is on the steep climb out of Exehaven Harbour, and actually that loco makes easy work of it, as does the Western, funnily enough. Well, as the Western draws into what will be Exehaven Harbour station one day, I think we'll leave that there, the running session. I hope you enjoyed that, Chris. I hope you got a better view of it all. I think we'll wrap that up for this week. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for subscribing, and if you want to subscribe, please do. It's fantastic to have you aboard and to watch the progression of my layout. Things just aren't going as quick as I'd like them to. I haven't got any more wood for the return loop yet, but it's all in hand, and it will happen. Cheers, everyone.